Hello and welcome to Reflections, episode 14, Zion Part 2. What an incredible journey we are embarking on, going back through this footage in particular. Which I had no idea I didn't use but a quarter of it when I first went through. And so these are getting long. Like I said.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would get shorter, but we should begin now. Anything?
No.
Okay, because we got to keep this quick. Got to keep it
Gotta
short.
go. Let's go.
Morning. So we woke up at about 5:30ish. We're gonna go on a hike. Right.
Oh, it's in the morning.
Come here, we'll both get in. Like, why wake up so early? You know?
It's everything it took for me to get up at that time. And then you want me to be on camera too, and I'm like, I'm gonna give you about this much.
I consider this to be like a big deal. Like, this is our first morning inside of a national park. It's kind of expanding our horizons.
Yep.
And so why wake up early?
It makes sense to me now.
Well, this is one reason we saw right here. Come here, we'll both get in this. Come here.
Oh, nice.
Look at the deer. Right there. Look.
What?
Right there. In the screen.
The screen's over there.
I know, but look at my finger.
Yeah, you're in
Wow. We communicate differently
the... Yeah.
now, not through the camera. But
luckily, yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Super chill. They're so close. Like, they don't even care.
Isn't that majestic? You laugh, but also yes.
Yeah, I did enjoy watching them. And we had seen them the night before too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I know I've seen deer before, but there was just something about it.
Zion's a pretty self-contained little valley. So everything's kind of used to everything happening in there. And those were very docile deer.
I can't stay still for too long or I'll freeze.
Oh, it's pretty cold. What was it, like less than 28 degrees right now? Heather wasn't excited when I woke her up.
We're from Texas. It doesn't get super cold there.
We are from Texas. We wear jackets when it's
like 60.
Less than 70 degrees. We wear a jacket. Just about, right?
Yeah, I'd say. That's correct.
This was before the winter freeze of 2021 in Texas, just FYI. That probably would have been mentioned. Except that one time.
Right, yeah.
We're from Texas.
It was
doesn't get cold, except for that one time. And
That's
here we go.
correct.
Hurry up.
One thing you should not do is to tell me to hurry up.
No.
I'll slow it down. I do remember, because there's so many shots of us, and it'll continue from here too. of us like on the trail, like those cool like walking shots. But this was like one of the first times you really like convinced me to do that. And then because we got up so early to do this trail,
I see.
there was no one on the trail for like hours and hours.
Yeah.
And so it was like easy enough to like set up the tripod, and then we would walk past it, and then you would have to go back and do it. So for every mile I hiked on this trail, you probably like doubled it.
I did do that a lot.
Yeah,
I did. For this one, I don't do it as much after this, much, because it gets kind of crazy whenever you're sand bench trail is very sandy,
yeah.
and it's hard to walk, and you're going uphill, as you'll see. So I think this is why we switch spots. You're walking in front now here for just a little bit, right after I say hurry up. I'm just kidding. Look at this behind us.
Like also cool because like the way the sun is in the canyon in the morning, like it just like kind of slowly starts peeking, you know, into it really. And so it was like as we were like waking up on the trail, it's like the canyon was like waking up too and like coming alive. But yeah, because like the more the sun came out, like the more energy you could feel, like it was getting like warmer, there was more like kind of wildlife around, the people came out, so that was kind of a cool like first trail.
That's true. Yeah, good point. What do you think of this?
It's getting warmer now too.
I feel like I needed to pause there just because, but I don't really have anything to say.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, Heather.
Hey.
You ever just want to get out of here?
Every day.
And then I went like this. So now I'm going to come back. What about here?
This is perfect. I know the one on the stairs, you did not tell me what you were doing. Like, you were just asking. And then on the trail, you were like, so, remember when we were on the stairs? And blah, blah, blah. And then, so you, like, imagine that sequence all along, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I struggled. It's a struggle to not make these things awkward.
Yeah.
Because when you're like, every day... I think about not being here, and it's like, how do you? It's like, well, that's kind of sad, but I mean, we're taking care of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know. That's why I asked. But if you said that every day, right? When we weren't planning on getting out and going and doing things, that's when I should worry. So I'm like, oh, that's not awkward. That's like, this is the answer. What about here?
Yeah.
I think past me thought that was like an awkward thing to say, but to me, it makes sense seeing it here.
Well, and I don't think you knew I was going to say every day.
I
either.
guess not. That was the first time the first take we
Yeah.
did. And I was like, oh,
Okay then.
I guess we should get going.
Yeah, good thing we're going.
Yeah. Straight on the trail.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
What do I do?
I said look up. Sorry, we're pausing way too much, but
Yeah.
that was us trying to time
Yeah.
things correctly. I found out the easier way of doing that is just reacting when you actually do look at something
Yep.
instead of
Much.
asking you to look, because you're like, this isn't, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't take
Why?
direction super well.
You don't take direction at all. Because you'll just be like, wait, stop recording.
Yeah.
Explain to me what-
what you're
Yeah.
trying to get me to do.
Mhm.
I need to understand. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
The rest area, no overnight camp.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Like, if we would have kept going around, it would have brought us here, right?
Probably.
What do you mean, probably? I don't want to get lost.
That trail was taking a while, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of,
I was like ready to be back.
well, apparently it's 7.5 miles.
Yeah, and it was like going on, but we were like going around a different way than we came, and we didn't take a map with us, which was
Yeah.
a mistake. And so I was like worried that we.
Well, it's supposed to be a loop.
Mm-hmm.
What got you worried was that this took you off the trail for a little bit, but it was just a rest area. So you're like, we just took
I was like, we need to go back to the trail now.
well, we just took a turn,
Yeah.
but this is supposed to be a single loop.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe that's why you're worried about getting lost there.
Probably,
Because
yeah.
you don't really need a map.
Okay.
Most of it's just trail.
Yeah, I like to have a map with me.
I don't. I guess I don't. That's what I'm trying to say. We didn't get lost this time.
Get
Yeah.
lost.
Okay. I think we can go down that way.
Be my guest. Might cut off a few miles.
Cut off a few limbs too.
That's a good one.
We were trying to work out a solution on how we could get off the trail quick because the road's right there.
Yeah.
So we were like, we could just
Is
follow
there a
the road.
shortcut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think, there was like this underlying, like, is this ever going to end? How long is 7.5 miles? I don't really know.
I'd never hiked 7.5 miles before, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what
It takes a while, if
Yeah.
you were wondering.
Yeah.
Especially in sand.
Limbs too. We just did the entire Sandy Beach Trail.
I think it's Sandy Bench.
Same thing. We saw the Court of the Patriarchs. It's the same thing because they're both wrong. It's Sand Bench, not Sandy anything.
Yeah, and I was like thinking, because up to this point, still I didn't really know what you were going to do with these videos. And so I was like, well, if you're like making this like informational, about this like place.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're saying the wrong trail names, like yeah.
Yeah.
Like how I was like, are we taking this seriously or no?
I don't know. I don't know.
Same thing. I think we're taking
And next
sorry. I think we're taking it seriously. It's just different than what I thought it was at the beginning. You know?
Yeah, it's different than what I thought it was too.
Okay.
And next is eating,
Yes.
and then we go to Angel's Landing. That was wonderful, staying at the lodge. We could just walk back and eat something. Oh, so you could get lunch at that little courtyard at the lodge and stuff. So
Yeah.
pretty sure that's what we did.
Yeah. Well, and it was like COVID, and so some things that were normally open weren't, and so there was like just one little
Oh, yeah.
like eatery type place.
And
And there was a lot of people.
You get a cheeseburger from a window,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
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 It was like way less than they normally offer, but anyways, yeah.
That wasn't very important when we were there, so. Are you ready for Angel's Landing?
Just about. Look at these gloves.
You see it? Angel's Landing?
No?
That big one right there.
Where?
Right in front of us. Well, there's people up there.
I never actually knew what you were talking about the whole time.
There's much more footage of me trying to explain to you what I'm like, there's something over here, and then there's a thing over there, but I'm really bad at
Well,
like that thing, the mountain.
yeah, it's probably a good thing I didn't actually like figure out what
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
or like where it was because
That's the tallest thing in front of you.
yeah,
That would be
I didn't need to see that at the bottom.
scary, yeah. Well, there's people up there. That make you feel better?
No, not really.
What was our hike this morning?
7.5 miles.
7.5 miles this morning. Think we can go up there?
No.
That's the spirit. Oh, I'm not allowed to talk to the camera when there's people around. It's a rule. 7.5 miles this morning.
Yeah. I meant that no. Well, I was just like scared of getting left behind. Like what would it mean if I didn't go with you? And so I was like my plan was cuz I knew there was a spot before you actually do Angel's Landing, like where you can just wait around basically and like you can hike all the way up to Angel's Landing and then not do the trail basically. And so that was kind of my plan, was to get there, kind of see what it was like, probably not going to do it, and then you can go by yourself and I didn't like hold you back from it, you know. But then yeah, we had hiked 7.5 miles that morning, and that was my first time wearing that backpack too, and so like I was like kind of hurting. Yeah, like I'm like limping a little bit. It was definitely it was like a physical, it was as much a physical challenge as it was a mental challenge.
This is serious.
It was pretty serious. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess I kind of like wanted to see what would happen, you know? Like, I could have just stayed at the lodge, but I was like, what, like, version of you stays at the lodge? And do you like that version of you, you know?
Not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I see. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That was serious then.
It was.
So it was about your own internal narrative and motivation too, because I mean the pressure's on when I have a camera and I'm like, this is just a guy just recording things happening. You want to do that giant
And
mountain?
I think I was tricking myself as much as, like, you know, you were tricking me, you know, into doing Angel's Landing. Like, I was like, if you just get up there, like, you're not gonna do it. Like, I know we're not gonna do it. You know what I mean? But, like, you can go up there and then not do it.
The last half mile before the chains and the scary stuff starts, you're saying
Yes.
you can get to a point,
You can get to the chains
Yeah.
and not do the chain scary part. Yeah.
but it's not the peak.
Yes.
So
Yeah. And it's still really a lot of work to get to that point. My goodness. Anyways, let's go.
let's find out.
We haven't even started. My goodness. Me dying.
We just did all that. Look at that. To this elevation. Okay. This ain't easy. Yep. Torture.
This is a nice little break, though.
I haven't lied to you about how far it is, because I actually don't remember this part being this long.
Like, we're going down further and further, so I'm like, it's just gonna be more work getting back up. Like, we were already higher up.
Yeah, it's tricking us. It's the power of Pringles.
Yeah, I do remember, like, I kept asking, like, are we almost there? Because you'd been there before, 4 years before this. And so I was like, are we almost there? Like, because I was like, I got a little bit more juice in me, you know? And then you just kept saying, yeah, we're almost there. It's like right after this part.
I think.
But I guess you were being honest.
It's been 4 years and I didn't document it as well. But then it gets a little intense here, so bear with
Power
us.
of Pringles. You can do it.
I'm not even there yet.
Whatever people you see,
Holy shit. Alright.
can you do it?
I mean, it's climbing. I like climbing. I think I'll be okay.
Well, it's positivity. So this was the stopping point when people
turn-
see it, and then they're like, "No."
Yeah, like even with the lottery system, you can still hike all the way up to this part. Yeah, and then that like staircase looking thing is Walter's Wiggles.
Yeah.
And that's really difficult too. But yeah, this is like me hyping myself up. Like, okay, now we're here. You see the chains, you see the thing. Like this was the scary place, like that you're supposed to turn around at. But like maybe you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, it's climbing. I like climbing. I think I'll be okay.
Well, it's positivity.
Holy shit. Oh, you'll have to edit that out. Oh my gosh. This is nuts. Oh my god, there's more. Okay.
What?
Oh, I know what that is. So there's a part before Angel's Landing, and then there's like a little section of chains before you see this part.
Mm-hmm.
Before you can see before I saw it at least. Maybe you can see it and I just wasn't paying good enough attention. But I saw like the first set of chains and I was like, that looks doable. It's just kind of like on the side there. And then once you're past that part, then you can really see like straight up all that you're gonna be doing. And then that's why I was like, oh,
That's the scary part.
I agreed to this already. Like I'm already past the first part of chains. And I didn't, yeah. Anyways, it all worked out. Maybe.
Maybe, we'll see. And look at that.
Yeah, made it to the top.
That section, though, that final section where it seems like it's straight up is pretty much impossible to go up with people and to be recording.
Yeah.
Because if you record with a camera going up, then you're going to be in the way because
Yeah.
there's people coming up and down at this time.
Yes.
And so you have to just be very patient and sit there because that's where traffic jams form too.
Yes.
So things get a little crazy.
There were so many people on the way up. Like that part made me more like nervous than the actual like drop-offs and stuff and the chain parts. It's just that like you're just like back to back with people. And so I was like more afraid of like somebody losing their balance and me being too close, and like, sending me off the edge or something or taking me down with them. But yeah, I think the people part of that was even more intimidating than the hike itself. And so I understand why they do the lottery like permit system now because it is kind of crazy.
Yep.
Do you need me to stop eating Pringles?
We made it with the Pringles. What do you think? Was it worth it?
Yeah, the real reason I wanted to make it to the top was so I could eat Pringles.
You don't have to come up here to eat Pringles, though.
Not sponsored by Pringles.
Yeah.
Not.
It's my reward to myself. Like you make it to the top, you have some peak Pringles, and then you just enjoy the view.
But on the way down, there was like nobody. So that's what makes it much more calm and relaxing. And I really like this next sequence.
Yeah, because everyone had kind of like, we didn't spend a lot of time at the top, but it was like enough time for people to kind of filter out. And it was like getting close-ish to sunset. And then, I mean, realistically, like getting back down, obviously you don't want to be on Angel's Landing in the dark. But then you have the whole trail up to Angel's Landing to go to as well. So really you want to start like well before sunset. Anyways, that's why we were alone, because we stayed a little bit longer than maybe maybe some people would have, but
It's perfect for me.
it was perfect. Yeah, because then there was no one around. You could do all the filming you wanted to. We'd already gone up. The scary part was over. I mean, you still need to be careful coming down, but like all the tension is just like released too, and it's like fun, like kids on a playground.
Whoa.
Felt like that. You know what I
Whoa,
mean?
now it's not serious. the way back down, it makes you look down too. And so it's kind of scarier. I didn't realize,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I'm like getting emotional like watching it because it's like I also recognize that like this is dramatic, whatever, but like I came back down that like different than I was going up it, you know?
That is pretty crazy.
Because this, like me doing this changed like a lot of things, how I saw myself. Like nobody like expected me to do this, including myself. Maybe you, I guess you expected me to do it. But, yeah, it told me a lot about myself and that I wasn't such a like little chicken like I thought I was. Yeah, it changed a lot of like ways that I saw myself at that point in my life. Like it was a pretty big moment to do that.
Seemed like it.
Left.
In the video too.
For the record, I'm doing everything Heather's doing too.
I'm just too chicken to hold the camera, so.
See, that was a big deal for me too. That was my first time doing it, not putting the cameras away. I did it once and I put my cameras away. When I did it again, I was like, I can't do that this time.
I'm glad that we
Yeah.
have this because like
Yeah.
you forget about things like this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And then you can watch this and be like, I did this. Like,
Yeah.
if someone in my life is trying to make me feel like a chicken or I'm feeling like a chicken because of choices I'm making, like, this is like a reminder.
Yeah.
No, you're the kind of person that does this, you know? So I'm glad that you have this footage. And I think it's also like probably pretty special footage to have because everything lined up really perfectly for you to even have this.
Yeah, I said the rule earlier. Not allowed to record with people.
Yeah.
So this was free game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Pretty cool. We did this.
We're doing it.
Well, yeah, I guess we're still doing it. We haven't made it back yet, so.
God damn it. Why would you say that?
I was like, oh, I can do this. And I look up and I was like, oh. Yeah, we have just begun.
That's like what you were saying earlier in this very video.
Yeah, about the chain, like the first chain part.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, oh, this is just the beginning part of it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we have just begun.
Yeah.
Well, we did Angel's Landing. Despite our lack of confidence in ourselves.
Yeah, I did not think that was going to happen.
Well, it's just very intimidating when you look at it, but when you take it one step at a time, it's more manageable, I think. But now we have
Wise words.
That's pretty good advice.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's a metaphor for how I can approach anything in life after this.
it's more manageable, I think. But now we have to go back down, and our knees are hurting.
It's like 3 miles. Back to the lodge.
Back down to this.
You know, it would have been a cool shot if you would have like gotten a close up, my hand grabbing the chain in the wedding ring, because it could be like a part like I decided to marry her.
See, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy you said
Yeah.
that there.
Well, because I was like imagining. I guess I was proud of myself. Like, that was also me being like, oh, like, it makes sense for me to be in these videos. You know? Like, yeah. I decided to marry her, like, for a reason.
Yeah.
Because she is this person.
You are that person.
Yeah.
It's not like you were anything else,
Yeah.
you know? It's like, yeah, the doubt.
Yeah. So I'm all like, I'm like
All this-
helping you with a shot. Like, what if you did this? Or I wish you would have had it, but we're already down there. So it's like, you don't have a shot of me
Yeah.
on the chains like that. But yeah.
I did have a shot of your hand on the tree, not the chain, the tree.
Yep.
But yeah, that was pretty important. I say when I say that was crazy, I don't mean it derogatory way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like that is wild that we're just talking about this right now
Yeah.
in this way, visiting it again.
Well, and you're like, oh, are you going to participate now? Like,
Whoa. Oh, that's
yeah.
true.
Like, you have some ideas for shots? Like, okay. Yeah.
That's true. Who was that?
What do you think?
Of what?
That?
This?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Same spot.
Heather was doubting us right there.
Not us.
Well, like, so if you haven't watched the other stuff, like the Narrow Adventure or whatever, that is Ethan 8 years ago, 4 years before this, when he went to Zion and hiked Angel's Landing, and then came back and was like, I want to go there with you someday. And I was like, sure, we'll see. But like, it is crazy to see like little baby Ethan like rounding the corner. I knew you then too,
Oh my gosh.
you know.
We were together then. My goodness.
And then I'm there with you, and then I'm here with you now. It's cute. It's sweet. Also, just now I was like saying, because you were like, this is where Heather was doubting us, and I was like, not us, because like I wasn't doubting you, like I was doubting me.
But it's us.
Yeah.
Like if one of us doubts
Yeah.
ourselves, it's literally the other one's problem.
I guess that's true.
You know?
I was about to say, like, how
Yeah.
did you know I was gonna do that?
You don't.
Yeah. You just hope. that-
Yeah, that's like having faith in your partner's capabilities.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you'd call it.
Yeah, because I was capable of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was rough,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm so grateful that I did that.
Yeah. And we got back at night, so that's what the deer are here at the end. So we,
The sun did set.
yeah,
As we-
that was a full day.
Yeah.
Full day.
But yeah, our first time really like our first time hiking,
Yeah.
and not just like a pretty flat trail in Texas.
Yeah.
And then we just hiked 14 miles
Yep.
like in a day.
And
But
yeah.
it's like, when else are you gonna do it? And
Yeah.
we're like in our 20s here, you know?
You don't have to convince me.
Yeah.
I'm okay with doing that.
Apparently we could do it.
Yeah.
Apparently we could do it.
That is not a regrettable decision. Doing that. What did I say? I said something earlier. Do you have to remind yourself about experiences you've had? Is that a requirement?
I don't know. I think you should sometimes. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
I think,
Or else you never know how you got from point A to point B,
yeah.
you know?
I think the,
You're always looking around wondering how you got where you are.
mm-hmm.
And then that makes you feel kind of on edge, you know?
On the edge of what? I think if you're constantly reminded of an experience, a time in your life, and you always go back to it, you have to figure out why you keep coming back to this thing. Whether it be 4 years later, and I'm like, I'm just going to take care of all this because I kept thinking about how this should be done. So I'm going to come back and do it right. And then it can get out of my head now. All this footage that there has to be a way to express that thing, because it can quickly be good or bad depending on how you're remembering it, you know?
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess, like, just like you can get too much footage and then you're not having time to go back through it. Like, you can have too much experiences. It's been, like, hard sometimes when we've been, like, going, and then not taking the time to, like, think, like, what just happened. Like, process what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is us doing that. Thanks for listening.
So yeah,
So that we can stay healthy.
next time it's the next episode's the Narrows, so get ready for that one.
And that's the place because you did
That's
do
not even this isn't even the biggest deal
Yeah.
that we've, this isn't even the one. This is just a side plot. Because, yeah, you'll see in the Narrows, unless you're in on it and you've watched the Narrow Adventure, the 8 years, that's just the key to unlocking the sense this makes. Because it's not like always a flashback. So my younger self randomly, normally with flashbacks, I have little dates. This time, might as
Figure
well
it out.
been a ghost. I'm not explaining it,
Yeah.
That's all I have to say, because I'm going to talk for another hour. We need a podcast. We need a podcast soon.
Yeah. We will do a Zion podcast next week.
Soon.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.